A single drop of blood could soon reveal Alzheimer's before symptoms even start to take memories. Could this change how we tackle dementia?
Today is May 21st, 2025. The FDA just approved the first blood test designed to help diagnose Alzheimer's disease. No need for a brain scan or spinal tap, just a blood draw. Why does this matter so much?
Up until now, if Alzheimer's was suspected, confirmation required either a pricey PET scan or invasive spinal tap. Both are tough to access, especially outside major hospitals. Now with this new test, called Lumipulse G p-tau217 beta amyloid 1:42 plasma ratio, you only need a blood sample from adults aged 55 and up who are showing symptoms. It detects amyloid plaques in the brain, which are the main marker for Alzheimer's.
So this test measures two proteins in the blood and looks at their ratio. If the ratio is high, that suggests amyloid plaques are present.
That's right. The ratio matches up closely with what you'd see on a brain scan, but skips the cost and discomfort. It's quick, non-invasive, and opens up the possibility for testing in places without high-tech imaging.
But it's not available to just anyone, is it? You can't go in for this as part of a regular checkup.
Exactly. It's not meant as a screening tool for everyone. It's only for people who already have symptoms, and it needs to be combined with other clinical evaluations. A doctor still has to look at the full medical picture.
What about access? How soon might people outside the US actually get this test?
That's a tough one. Regulatory approval takes time, and every country has its own process. In low and middle-income countries, there are extra hurdles. Labs might not have the right equipment, there may not be enough trained staff, and the cost is still unknown. Even though it's cheaper than imaging, price hasn't been announced, so affordability is still a big question.
So even if the test itself is simpler, you still need labs and trained people. That could slow things down, especially in places where healthcare systems are already stretched.
Exactly. There's also the issue of regulatory experience. Some countries haven't handled diagnostics like this before, which could mean even more delays.
How about accuracy? Is this blood test as reliable as a PET scan or spinal tap?
Early studies suggest yes, that accuracy is similar to traditional methods, but it's much easier on patients. No spinal needles, no specialized scans. That's a significant change.
Are international groups doing anything to make sure this isn't just available in wealthier countries?
Some groups, like the Alzheimer's Association, are advocating for global access. They're working to align regulatory approvals, build lab capacity, and train more healthcare workers. A few governments are adding this test to their national dementia plans, but larger efforts are really just beginning. Partnerships between nonprofits, governments, and manufacturers will be essential to make this widespread and affordable.
Why does all this matter? If the test becomes standard, what changes in real life?
Alzheimer's affects more than 55 million people worldwide, and that number could double by 2050. Most people are diagnosed late, especially in areas with fewer resources. Early, accurate diagnosis means people can get treatment sooner, families can make plans, and researchers can run better clinical trials. It's not just a medical breakthrough. It could change how societies approach dementia care.
And with new Alzheimer's drugs coming out, many of which require proof of amyloid plaques before they're prescribed, this blood test could speed up access to treatment.
Exactly. It could make diagnosis, access to therapy, and research all move faster. This is a major development for global health.
So just to sum up, a simple blood test could replace expensive scans and invasive procedures, but questions about access and affordability remain. Global organizations are starting to take action, but real equity will need time and coordination.
And for families waiting for answers, this test could make all the difference. Thanks for joining us as we explored how a single blood draw could reshape Alzheimer's care.
Thank you for listening. This episode was brought to you by mynews.studio. Try it now for free.